J Mo, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? All right, there we go. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We having some time. What in the world? All right. Anyway, we're going to break down this Godfather of Harlem season. What season is this? Season 4, episode 3. It's been moving so fast. And, it was a really good episode. One thing that I am going to say is like, man, they know everybody. It's like everything and everybody that was alive or doing something in New York or somewhere around that time, they know, whether it was the gangsters. Now they got Aeni Shakur introduced this episode as a Black Panther, more like a Black Kitty. Anyway, you got her brought in as a young woman, Black Panther, and they have her. It seems that Bumpy's daughter is easily influenced from whether it was being on drugs, hanging with friends. Then it's with the mosque with Malcolm. Now she with the Black Panthers. Who's next? She just swayed with the wind. It made me feel like, man, I never really was like that. I never really joined up people. I'm not saying there's something wrong with joining up, but wow, it's like joining up a lot. Anyway, I guess Tupac Mama was real influential this time, as well as Malcolm X. She did have a couple influential people, I can't lie. Anyway, we see Frank Lucas is a dummy. Frank Lucas a dum-dum. He done rob Bump J, and he talking about some what? Some sugar milk. He done sugar powder, milk powder. Then switched up the dope. He was like, you tried to use me because I'm expendable. Look at it, dummy. That job was a test, and you failed. And you failed this test too. Get out of here. Bump Johnson don't play. I was giving you a test. They're gonna call me Hump Johnson. What's good? What's good, Rashonda? How you doing, mama? What's good with you, sis? How everything going with you? Suburbia Jones, what's good with you, fam? Big Bird, what's up, man? How you feeling, fam? Suburbia Jones, you say in unity there is strength. I know that's right. She was with the Black Panthers in this piece. Then, it was a lot of topics that were discussed. They got a lot of subplots in this show. Don't get me wrong, I'm down with it. I like the show, but it's a couple things I did have a problem with. Sweet brown sugar, mama, what's good? Say, OMG, I didn't know a new episode started. Yeah, it got released last night. It dropped last night, actually. So it's available. And so I'm about to get into it. But one of the other things that they dropped this last episode, and I got a problem with it on a couple reasons, is that they had Margaret, which is the daughter of Bump's daughter, his granddaughter, but he raising her as his daughter. I can't remember her mama name. Is it Elise? Anyway, I can't be remembering a lot of names. Some of y'all know me. That's why I come up with my nicknames. But anyway, she in school, and this racist teacher talking about Christopher Columbus and how when they came, the natives willingly gave everything to them and this and that, which of course was a lie. But she's saying in the textbooks that it was different and they had to kill her. I don't think the textbooks would have probably said that back then, but that's the only problem I had with that. And then she was talking with the teacher and we see him whacking the desk with this yardstick. Later, we see she got bruises and she been getting beat by this teacher with the yardstick. And he been hitting other kids. The problem I got with this is that them women wouldn't have took that on by themselves. I think they would have let Bump know if that was the case. Like, and also I think that was rude and disrespectful because he raising her in his house as his daughter, and y'all ain't gonna let him know what's going on. I mean, what, they was afraid he was gonna whack him? I mean, you still gotta let me know. You still gotta let me know. It's Elise. Yeah, that's why I was thinking Elise. Elise, yeah. I think Elise and Mamie, Bumpy's wife. I think they should have let Bumpy know that she was getting whacked. Y'all let me know in the comments. Should Bumpy have been told that his daughter was getting whacked? Put a B in the comments if you think Bumpy should have been known. If you don't think that he needed to be known, let known what was going on, put an N for no. Shit. I just forgot I got sensitive teeth. What's happening is my damn gums are receding, and now my teeth are getting sensitive. Whew. I don't have any cavities, but this is another issue. I caught myself looking out all this time to not have cavities, end up having this problem. Anyway, Stephen Harris, what's good, my brother? How you feeling? What's up? What's up with you? So we see Bump this episode, so much they got going on as always. He focused on getting this property this episode. And so while he's focused on trying to get this property, and it was kind of confusing to me a little bit. Again, I only watched this episode once, but what was confusing is, so they had some property or something, or he had some property that was on some blocks or something, and it was some type of slick real estate dude trying to take the property and tear it down. He even said they tried to tear down the Apollo Theater. So what, Bumpy saved the Apollo? Bumpy did everything, didn't he? He knew everybody. Anyway, I really don't understand what it was. It was kind of not explained that good for me to pick it up in the one episode watching. But from what it seemed, what, Bumpy owned that or something? And wait a minute. Oh, okay. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. You ain't watching yet, but you still supporting on without hearing the sound. That's what's up. Anyway, we see that he I don't forgot what I was saying. Oh, the real estate. So he what, owned the real estate, and then he got this old dude who didn't like Bumpy, but he got the real estate in his name. But I think this white real estate developer want to tear it down, and he using the old dude or something as a way to get city funds by saying it's minority owned. I believe that's what it is. I mean, again, it was a lot. It was kind of confusing, but from what I think, that's what it is. So Bumpy end up convincing dude, because I guess dude thought that what, he gonna get free rent and still live there as normal. And Bumpy like, nah, they gonna tear all this down and you gonna be left out. But I don't understand, like, what, dude ain't gonna make money or what? I don't get it. Anyway, Bumpy end up convincing dude that, yeah, I may be a gangster, but it's other type of it's other type of gangsters out there. I may be one type of gangster. He's a real estate gangster. Which, hey, it is what it is. I'm not the Doochie gangster no more. I am gonna be illegal gambling gangster. Anyway, they go and crash the little executive meeting at the end, and we come to find out with old school Pops, who already had a grudge against Bumpy because he wanted to marry Bumpy's aunt, and she died of he say a broken heart because she was trying to help Bumpy, but he ended up in jail as a youngster and went on the wrong path, so she feels she ain't do enough. Let's see where this icy hot is. My dang on neck is hurting. Shoot. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear that on the computer. Did y'all hear that? Oh. Ugh. My damn neck. That sounded like gunshots. Anyway, I think dude gonna end up dead. That old school, because we saw Joe Colombo in the earlier scene confronted by that same real estate developer, and one of the things he said was, first we gotta whack Bumpy, and he like, that I cannot do. Hey, look here. He like, don't all you gangsters do that? Hey, look here. I'm a businessman. I supply the concrete, supply the workers. That's what I do. Never know if you could be wearing the wire. You understand what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna whack Bumpy, but they will whack old Lumpy, aka old school in trouble. And I think I remember, and again, I only watched it once, but didn't the real estate developer say old school gotta make sure he go along with it? Make sure that this don't mess up. So they may end up having to whack him before he get to sign the paperwork, because I don't remember the story going that Bumpy saved Harlem or Bumpy saved the Apollo. So I think old boy gonna get whacked before Bumpy deal fall through, as well as I think a lot of things gonna happen where it make it that Bumpy didn't really have much to leave behind or have much at all when he died, because he had this damn loan. He had to put up all his properties in the other episode we saw to get this $3 million, which would pretty much bury him in debt. And if he don't work it right, I think Bumpy gonna, when it's over, may be in trouble. But we'll see, because we got Frank in the picture now. And Frank Lucas is a added breath of fresh air in a sense. He providing the gangsterisms now, because Bumpy, he pretty much trying to get out of that. Plus, he too old for that. Although when they went to confront old school, he did had him kick in the door, waving the fo, and so he still will get down like that. Don't get it twisted. But Frank bringing a new added little dimension to the episodes, because we seeing him in a new light. I don't know about most of you guys. I never personally read the book on Frank Lucas. I seen the movie with Denzel, seen a couple other little documentaries or something, little people talk or whatever. It's mostly about him after he was doing good, or it pick up right when Bumpy was going down. So this is new to me to see this angle of Frank. Let me see this. Hold on, I gotta get this thing, my neck. I gotta get a little neck respect. Hold on. I don't normally endorse products on my show, especially products that I don't believe in. I definitely will never endorse a product I don't believe in. I don't care how much money they pay me. Not that I get offers from, well, I do get some offers for some stuff though, but I just ain't did it. But this right here ain't even a paid endorsement. This actually worked. Icy Hot Max with lidocaine. This ain't a paid endorsement. I use this all the time, and I'm gonna tell you something. I use some other products, and they don't work that good. This right here, yeah, this right here actually worked. Now I do put a nice amount on, but let me tell you something. You talking about somebody that feels pain, a different kind of pain? That's me. All right, and so it works for me. It definitely should work for you, cause man, when I be sore or throbbing, whew, it's coming through, boy. I'm telling you. Before I used to use this, I would be laid out. That's all I'd be able to do at certain points. Uh, Give me a second and I'm gonna get back to this review. I didn't plan on being a product demonstration during this this review, but my neck wasn't hurting like this at first. I don't know why my neck has gotten so stiff and hurting all of a sudden. I keep the icy hot all the time because my body and back and neck and stuff always get a little sore. Well, ain't no get a little, it's always sore. As y'all can see, I do put a nice amount on, but it works. Let me tell you another thing this do. If you put this on, icy hot max with lidocaine, also does not smell. Free endorsement, Icy Hot Max. If you do want to hit me up, I will endorse your product because I do use it. But let me tell you another thing that product does, boy. You put that on your back at night, ooh wee, you gonna sleep like a baby. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I put that on my back at night. Oh my goodness, I sleep so good, so good, so good. So if you got back problems or something, and you have problems sleeping at night, get you that icy hot max with lidocaine. I'm telling you, with the roll on, roll that up, roll that up, roll up one of those. Woo! You gonna be all right. Let's see, Buddy Raw. I'm starting to feel better now. I'm about to get back to the review. See how that don't even take that long. It don't even take that long. It's starting to. I can move my neck a little bit already. I'm telling you, I was almost about to lean to the side on here, y'all. Buddy Raw, my mom used that icy hot, and she been relieved. She be relieved. 2 hip and 1 knee replacement, 1 shoulder replacement. She gone through it. I'm telling you, man. Your mom, she knows. Hey, I got a bad back. Well, I can't even say I got a bad back. I got a broken back. So I had a back surgery and a damn neck surgery. So, whew. Tony Sosa, 41. Will he be a driver? That's a good question because we not seeing Frank rise up through the ranks. Frank is now, but he ain't rising up through the ranks. He rising up through networking, I should say. He rising up through networking because he ain't necessarily rise up through no ranks. And we see also he go and meet with who? Colombo. And when he go and meet with Colombo, see, he think because he country still. So he think, okay, well, since Bumpy ain't working with me right, I guess I'll find the Italians that do work with brothers, and I'm gonna see what's up with them. But little did he know they ain't about to mess with no outsiders. Plus, if you step in as a thief and untrustworthy, they pretty much ain't gonna give you no trust or any of that. Plus, he already messed up because they already looking for that junk. They looking for the junk, and They can't find the junk, so they sending out people, and we see what's old girl name? I can't remember nobody damn name. I had too many damn names in my head in my life. Anyway, old girl running the damn organization sent out soldiers to look to see who's selling the junk and who did it. And one of them almost got Frank. And Frank ended up having to slit his throat to get up out of there. We already know that's coming back. And like an idiot, what'd he do? That's a nice ring. I think I take that. I'm going to go around town wearing the dead man ring. Nobody would know. Nobody would recognize. I'd say I found it. He's an idiot. It's surprising that he even made it at the rate he going. Buddy Raw. Oh, my bad. You say difficult takes a days. What's up? What's up? Suburbia Jones, you ain't lying. I roll up that icy hot. I think I might put another roll on actually though, because it was feeling better. But sometimes you gotta hit it up twice, especially if you're still doing something. Antoinette Herren, you say Frank, at least on this show, keep going against the grain. Was way out of pocket going to see Columbo after Bumpy warned him to stay in his lane. Facts, man. Facts, Antoine. I agree with you 100%. And the way they got Frank moving right now, like I said a second ago, I'm surprised that he even made it. Is that he even survived? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how would he even survive when he ain't making all these mistakes? Been warned, stay in his lane. You done robbed. You done, like Bumpy said, the job I gave you was a test, and you failed, just like you failed the test now. And this dumbass, he too worried about getting killed trying to sell this little bit of junk to these damn fiends in the damn corner under the building. Let me get money. It's gonna take him 10 years to move that. He talking about, hey, how about I split it with you? Chance like, hey man, don't you understand? Straight up. Damian Kenny, what's good, my brother? How you feeling? Appreciate you for coming through as always, man. You say Frank is a maverick, takes the meat and leaves the bone. I know, right? Frank on play though. Frank Lucas, man. The thing is, he's not being smart with how he moving. He's not really creating allies, and he's seeing it as they think I'm expendable, whereas people don't know you, and they trying to see if they can trust you and get to know you. And all you show is that you hard-headed, a thief, a rogue, don't listen, don't stay in your lane, a possible problem. Yeah, you may get a job done, but then you will do something else with the job. We tell you to do this, you end up messing it up because you end up making us look bad when we give it back. Mm. Right up in here. Back tooth. Back tooth. Anyway. Boy, I feel so bad for Mamie Johnson, Bumpy's wife, because the things she got to put up with as a woman, and she trying to be proud and dignified, but it's got to be hard and embarrassing. I see her always in the way, kind of getting embarrassed, whether it was with that white woman talking about, oh yeah, James Baldwin's like a chocolate frog. Could you bring him by? A chocolate frog. I like chocolate Kermits. They're so cute. Just like you. You're a cute one too, aren't you? Pretty little ha. And she got, yeah. What? Or what's going on with her daughter, even though, she telling her daughter basically don't talk back to the teacher. This is some of the same type of things that was being taught to me as well. Although I do have some used because there's some Instagram videos of kids talking back to the teacher that's like, whoa, talk about I told you don't be talking to me, the mother MF, and I beat you and I slap them glasses off your face. And I'm like, whoa. Anyway, these teachers are wrong in what they're doing, at least. But anyway, we see that she's out there, in a sense, always kind of having to swallow her pride. And I kind of feel bad for her for that sense, because James Baldwin, and I don't know why he would do that, but they invited him to speak about a book. It was an all-white audience, except for Bumpy and Mamie. One of Bumpy's people come in there, and it's not a big audience. You're saying maybe, what, 30 to 50 people? And one of his people come in and let him know they need to talk to him. Next thing you know, as he stand up to step out, he focuses in on him because he was having a speech about pretty much the problems of what's going on in society. And he's on the part about how drug dealers and gangsters is a problem, talking about speak of the devil. Like, why would you point him out and front him off in front of them, even if it is true? I mean, if that's how you felt, you shouldn't have came because you knew what his wife, you knew who she was. But nevertheless, he did front him off. Whether he was right or wrong in what he was saying, I don't think that was the spot or the place. You all let me know in the comments. In this scene, was James Baldwin wrong for fronting off Bumpy? Because Bumpy said, you got some nerve, and pretty much that, hey, you up here in front of a room full of white folks, which this better entertainment than them than fighting monkeys. And then there's something that, in a way, our people in society still got a problem with. Let one of people go down and everybody pile on it, from a Diddy to a Shannon Sharp to whatever. And I'm not saying that these people may not have did anything wrong or guilty or innocent, but I'm just saying we be on it as a people. Let somebody do something and everybody on that one real quick. And he was all on Bumpy, even though Bumpy and his wife probably one of the few people trying to support him in that situation that wasn't looking at him like a chocolate frog. Anyway, let me see. Antoinette Herren, I don't know about this, but you said Antoinette Herren in the comments. You say, is it me or does Mamie be cooning just a little bit? And what I think it is her generation, because you got to think what the baby boomer generation would be. Margaret, she would probably be a baby boomer. Margaret. So they are probably from the silent generation, and that's literally what that generation is called, the silent or the greatest generation, which is the generation that went to World War One. So they were pretty quiet and reserved. You got to think they went through a lot with prejudiceness and Jim Crow and all of that. So I think her generation is still having those mental bonds. You know what I mean? And I think we're seeing the beginning of and the new mental. And that's another thing that what you call it shows. Oh my goodness, I can't think of nobody's name. At least is how the mentality, the zeitgeist is changing. from the drugs or to the movement with Malcolm to now the Black Panthers and being militant and speaking up. It's like people enough is enough type stuff. And so she's still not ready for that. It's the same as like a baby boomer today trying to get on social media and do things on the internet and stuff. It's a lot for them. So I think that's what it is more of that. So Damian Kenny, you say is Baldwin and Bumpy like Will and Chris. That's funny. Good comparison, man. Good comparison. And I mean, it's not like that, but it is like that. You see what I'm saying? I agree with you. Like, of course, it's not like that in the sense that they was about to fight, but it's like that in the sense of we airing out our stuff or putting down each other or whatever for the entertainment or sake of others without realizing it sometimes. Like, I don't think Jimmy B, James Baldwin, had the intention of saying that to entertain them, but sometimes you can have a mentality and thoughts that you don't realize, you was what you was doing. And so that's what I'm thinking. As y'all can see, I'm reloading on this icy hot a little bit. I normally would take my shirt off and put it on, so I'm trying to squeeze it in here in this little space. Squeeze it in this tight little space around the collar. Let's see. Antoine, you say first Ali, now they had to try to tie Aeni Shakur to the show. That's what I'm saying. Earlier I was mentioning that, dude, they know everybody. Everybody that was alive during that period they knew or had a tie to or came across or rubbed elbows with. I mean, come on now. I think some of this stuff is interesting storytelling, but also a push. It kind of make it seem like, come on. I think y'all just trying to cram anything in here to keep it interesting to viewers, but they've been doing such a good job of keeping it realistic. Again, I don't know if this is even true or not. It doesn't seem that way. But hey, because from what I remember, Aeni Shakur was not the number one mover and shaker in the movement. She was with Matula Shakur and supporting him in different things. Not to say she didn't do her thing, but to have her as the leader in making this stuff happen and coming into school and doing these things, I didn't know this. But also, I never read a book or watched a documentary on Aeni Shakur, so I don't know her life story. But from what I did hear and see from the times of whether it's Tupac or whoever, however I came across it, um, I didn't hear her as always being the leader. But anyway, we see, let's see, Damian Kenny, you say, look at how Jada disassociated herself with Will's actions. Oh man, we already know that story right there. She basically egged him on with the look, as everybody saw and knew. And then when he went and did something for it, talking about I ain't do that. I ain't had nothing to do with that. I ain't say that. So that's kind of messed up. Get hung out to dry. Antoinette Herren, you say, how was the little girl getting beat like that with bruises without Mamie not knowing? She lost some points for that too. I'm with you 1,000%. As well as I think she lost even more points because she couldn't even talk to her and tell her, talking about my daughter, but who she talked to? Her real mama. And she seemed like an example or an extension of the school system at home. Discipline her and saying you've had enough and she can't talk to you and all of that authoritarianism. But that's all structured so that you'll be a good worker and listen to your supervisors and bosses and factories. Anyway, it's messed up that she couldn't tell her own alleged mama that's raising her that he whacked her on the shoulder and had those bruises and stuff. That was messed up. That was messed up. Let alone that she getting whacked like that. And you sitting there on the side of the school system. But she didn't know while she was on the side of the school system about the bruises. I'm glad at least she changed her tune when she found out. And I'm glad she didn't continue it when she got suspended from school by trying to hit her or do something to her. I just wish she'd have found out the truth. You know. Stephen Harris, you say Frank made his connect. Are they gonna be the new Bumpy and Bumper and Chin? I mean, we'll see. Frank, I don't think so because you talking about when Frank talked to Columbo. I think what you saying may have been a possibility, but did you see the end of the episode, the trailer for the next episode? Well, I don't think this is gonna last too long because they had showed Frank beat up and trying to get back with Bumpy and saying he made mistakes and it ain't work out right or something. To that effect. You can watch the trailer at the end of the episode if you missed it. So I don't think that's gonna last long. And that's why I'm saying I don't understand how Frank even alive. This dude that made way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. I mean, he killed one of their dudes, slit his throat. That Thizzo cut it like warm butter. So, and then what? Gonna wear the ring and think that if they don't find out, and then Columbo is pretty much Stella. That's her name. He pretty much cool with Stella. So if she say, "Hey, we've been looking for who got our junk," and one of our dudes got, sliced like white bread, he gonna let him know. And I think Frank gonna probably be lucky to escape with his life with that. So, yeah, I don't think that's gonna maybe work. All right, y'all. I'm about to do my Moorescoe first reaction, Moorescoe, and give you my rating for what I would rate this episode. And you know, let's get on into it and see how it go. All right. The Moorescoe, my rating system, real simple. I know most of y'all already know it, but for those that don't, 4 simple categories, 25 points each. Bring it up to 100. Let's get into it. Visuals, cinematography. I really like the way that they make this look. I always, for this show, I'm a little surprised at how well they do the sets and the streets and the cars and everywhere they go and the buildings. I mean, they do a good job. And now you can see the restaurant that they've been going through the years. It's starting to look raggedy on the outside. Remember, it used to look pristine. It's starting to look bad. And then they use old stock footage as well but the stock footage is real footage from that time period, and they blended it. They do a good job with the visuals with this and cinematography. This episode, nothing special other than the normal good stuff. I can't think of one scene to jump out in particular. So I'm gonna give it on the scale of 25. I'm gonna give it a 22. A 22. All right. Next, we got the storyline and plot. They got a lot going on with the storyline and plot this episode. A lot of subplots and things going on with folks. With this dude Frank Lucas throwing a monkey wrench in people's plans. Bumpy with the real estate. Stella trying to be a mob boss, and we see she ain't running it like I was suggesting in the last video. I don't see how she gonna be running this thing of ours, and she's frustrated. Overall, I would give this episode, I'll give it a 21. And then special effect, makeup, costumes, I think they do a good job with the costumes. Everybody dresses that time period, looks that time period, the hair, everything. Wasn't too much special effects that's coming to mind. What he sliced old boy like Wonder Bread. Um, Overall, I'm gonna give this a 20 out of 25. Because the costumes and everything is always on point. And last but not least, entertainment fun factor. Was this entertaining? Did I enjoy it? And yeah, I did enjoy this episode. It was a good episode. Um, it's not gonna go down as one of the biggest to be remembered, but it is pushing the story. We saw Whoopi Goldberg in there. I like how this goes back to the special effects, makeup, and costumes. How they pack all those braids into her afro wig. That's kind of tight. I like that. Anyway, um, overall, I will give this a episode a 21 out of 25. Which bring it to a bring it to a total of a 84. 84 on the Moorescoe, and that could be roughly a 8.5 out of 10. I always give a 0.5 margin there, so if it's an 8, some people think it's a 9. I don't know if it's a 9. I can see an 8. 8.5. It was good, and keep the story moving. What do you all think about this episode? What would you rate it? I mean, I think the Moorescoe is pretty good and impartial, but sometimes off of just feeling, it would be different. Off of feeling alone, I would probably rate it a 8, maybe a 7.5. But it was still good, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't something that would be like, remember the girl getting hit? I guess it's kind of something memorable. They didn't show it. They'd have showed it, then hey, they'd have had a whole nother show, another ball game. Let me see some of these comments, y'all. Stephen Harris, you say, LOL, Bumpy and Mamie were married till he died. He treated her like that in reality. He didn't beat his wife. Nah, that's good. She shouldn't have Bumpy, allegedly, because we don't know everything, but he never beat on her or treated her bad. Although he'd be out in them streets, he wasn't with no goombas, allegedly. Stephen Harris, you say, actually in the Boardwalk Empire, Nucky is the same too. He lost all his empire to save his nephew. Boardwalk Empire was a good show. I only saw a little bit of that. I think maybe a clip or so. I think during that time period, early 2000s, like that. I didn't have cable and was working and all kind of stuff, and I missed that. Although it is on HBO Max app, that's the one good thing about HBO Max. Another endorsement, unpaid. If you have the HBO Max app, all of those great shows, The Wire, Oz, all of that stuff is on there. Sopranos, you can watch it as much as you like. I've been meaning to say I'm gonna go back and watch The Wire and Oz because all of that stuff was out around the same time, and I didn't have cable, and I couldn't see any of that stuff. So I was thinking about going back and watching some of that stuff. Steve, you give it an 8. That's what's up. Antoinette Herren, you said, I think Stella's gonna get Frankie Lyman's mama who work in the restaurant to come and work for her and keep the books. I know, right? She keep talking to her as a consigliere. And you know what? Okay, so they kind of, it seems to me, pushing this women's movement, women taking over stuff. And I don't think it's matching with the time periods now. I had to pause for a second because I had to think about it. And the women's liberation movement did start, I guess, and when? The 60s and 70s. But when that originally started, that was mostly like gay women, I believe. Was it? Or was it not? I'm not sure. But I believe it may have started in the. See, it came along when birth control pill came out as well. It came along around that time period and things. So, women independence, the Mary Tyler Moore show, all of that stuff. And so, I can't really say that it doesn't match up, but it kind of doesn't feel right sometimes looking at them doing something that's kind of doing what's now. But some movements have been going on for decades, and the story is the same. You would think that they were talking about today, and it could be from 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 70 years ago. So it is some struggles and situations that are exactly the same. It's sad. So I can't exactly say that it's fake. I had to do a little more work and research into that. But anyway, it does feel a little off. All right, y'all. I'm about to wrap it up. What y'all, if y'all got any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. What y'all think of this picture right here? Y'all know what that is? That's one of my favorite movies and scenes. Game of Death. Bruce Lee, he had to go and fight all those bosses. He got up to the top, had to fight Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem, boy, he was a bad boy when he was young. Kareem trained with Bruce Lee, baby. Bruce Lee ran up on Kareem. Kareem kicked him in the chest, and Bruce Lee got up with that little yellow onesie on. It was a big ass footprint, the size of his whole body. Kareem was he had on sunglasses in the dark. He kicked this dude so hard he had a full body Foot Clan. Straight up. Damian Kenny, Luau Cinder versus Bruce Lee. Yeah. It's Luau Sendor. Luau Cinder. That's how people pronounce it. But it's spelled Luau Cinder. But yeah. Bruce Lee, but he was known as Kareem at that time already. Anyway, Suburbia Jones, the game of death. That's right, baby. Kareem versus Bruce Lee. Look how high Bruce had to get up there to kick somebody in the head that's 7'3". Kareem was 7'3". Anyway, you see, I got my 300 helmet right here. I can actually put that on. That's not a toy. The reason I got that Spartan helmet right there, y'all, is because We were the Spartans at my school, Warriors 300. You know what I'm saying? I don't give up. I'm ready to keep going. You can't quit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're in your drawers and just by yourself with a sword and your brothers, they're protecting the small passcode thermopylae. You must not give up the fight. Anyway, let me get up out of here, y'all. This is a good show, a good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all play out. How did that world does Frank Lucas get out of these messes that he keeps getting into with his life? I don't see how or why they keep giving him these chances, but they do. And so I guess we'll learn why in these upcoming episodes. I damn sure want to see how he gets to be Bumpy's driver, because that's a lot of trust. That means you know every move I make. I guess one of his men gonna die, Chance or his other partner, because they pretty much are Bumpy's right hand man and driver right now. So in order to get that job, that means that one of them, something happened to them or both of them, which I don't want to happen because I like them. And, you know, when you watch these shows, you get to know the characters or whatever. And so Chance and his partner, it'd be sad to see them go. But I'm pretty much guaranteeing something gonna have to happen to them in order for Frank to get that job. So anyway, let me get up out of here, y'all. Antoinette Herren, you said Frank gonna save Bumpy's life. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. Something like that, especially if them other two brothers is locked up. You know what I'm saying? Suburbia Jones, you say in a DVD called The Warrior's Journey, they found some deleted scenes from the Game of Death and it's significant. Yeah, you know, the movie Game of Death was made pretty much with deleted scenes. I believe that's the movie Bruce died producing. That's his last. They used a stunt double in some of those scenes and a lot of those scenes to complete the Game of Death, I believe. But they had already filmed the fight scenes with him and Kareem and a few other people and some other stuff. And so they used somebody else. Yeah, Bruce Lee. Yep, Antoinette Herren, Bruce Lee. Yep, he was in the movie more than Bruce Lee because it's messed up. That's why they say you shouldn't flirt with death in your titles and stuff, because Biggie said ready to die and then life after death, and then it was over. You do ain't no baseball, ain't no three strikes in this month. Bruce said death is not a game, Bruce. It is real. You must be like water. And the flow is over, Bruce. Time to cut your water off, Bruce. Anyway, Tupac too. You're right. Tupac did it in his lyrics a lot too. Tupac was all over that. Yeah. So, you know, you need to rap about life more than death. Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I hope everybody have a good evening. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I've been trying to switch it up and do my little podcast from different spots to give people different little angles to see what people liking and feeling. So I appreciate all the support, and everybody, y'all have a good one, and deuces. Y'all be safe.